Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Shreya Dhondial. You're watching the Urban Debate here on Mirror Now. Ladies and gentlemen, conversion and caste is a socially sensitive and politically loaded conversation in India. But when both collide, as they have done today in Tamil Nadu, the debate becomes deeply polarized but deeply important as well. Tamil Nadu has reignited one of India's most sensitive constitutional debates. When you change your religion, can you carry your caste with you? This is what I mean. If I'm a scheduled caste Hindu and I convert to Islam, can I continue to avail reservations that are due to a scheduled caste? These are reservations that I got when I was a scheduled caste Hindu. But when I convert to Islam, become a Muslim, do I still get the same reservation or not? That question, ladies and gentlemen, is at the heart of the controversy that is playing out in Tamil Nadu. It started with a government order, expanded with a Madras High Court verdict, and now it will see a high-octane battle in the Supreme Court. Now, because it is a bit complicated, I'm starting from the start. It all began with one man. This man was born as Parma Sivam in a Hindu family. He then converted to Islam in the year 2015 and he changed his name to Samir Ahmad. He then applied for a backward caste Muslim certificate, hoping to avail reservation under the backward caste Muslim quota. His application was rejected by the local Tehsildar. He then approached the Madras High Court in 2022. Now, this is where things get interesting. While this case was still pending in the Madras High Court, the previous Stalin-led government issued a government order in March 2024. The order allowed eligible people from the backward class, the most backward classes, denotified communities, and scheduled castes who converted to Islam from Hinduism to obtain a backward class Muslim certificate and seek reservation. But in June 2026, the Madras High Court, that was still hearing the case, struck down this government order. The High Court held that conversion to Islam by itself does not automatically entitle a person the status of a backward class Muslim. It said a person may embrace Islam but cannot automatically become a member of a notified backward community. The court further held that reservation must flow from legally recognized social and educational backwardness, not religion alone. But, ladies and gentlemen, the main crux of their argument was this. Muslim preachers and Christian missionaries for centuries now have harped upon the fact that unlike Hinduism, their religion offers social equality. If this is their conversion pitch, social equality is their conversion pitch, then how can a convertee carry his Hindu caste to his new religion? Now, this is what the court said, and the Vijay-led government in Tamil Nadu strongly disagreed with the court, saying that the government order merely wanted to ensure continuation in affirmative action. They have now challenged the Madras High Court verdict in the Supreme Court. Now, the questions before the apex court are significant. Can conversion alone alter reservation eligibility? Can a government order expand who qualifies for a reservation category? And where should the Constitution draw the line between religious freedom and affirmative action? Predictably, political reactions have been sharply divided. The BJP has called this vote bank appeasement and a violation of constitutional principles. The DMK has defended the move, arguing that denying reservation to convertees goes against the spirit of the Constitution. The Samajwadi Party, meanwhile, has chosen to leave the matter to the Supreme Court, saying the issue must be decided strictly on law and fact.
कुछ जो स्टूडियो सर्कुलर सिंडिकेट है वो जो है वो कोटे के लोटे से आरक्षण की अफीम चटाने का उनका जो पुराना प्रयोग है, पिटा हुआ प्रयोग है, वो समय समय पर जो है वो दोहराते रहते हैं। ऐसे ये सीडो सेकुलर जो सिंडिकेट है उसको भी ये मालूम है कि संविधान में धर्म के आधार पर किसी भी आरक्षण की व्यवस्था को स्वीकार नहीं किया गया है। और अगर आप इस तरह के जो है वो कोटे के लोटे से आरक्षण की अफीम चिटा चटा करके और मुस्लिम मतदाताओं के वोटों का अपहरण करने की कोशिश करोगे तो कोर्ट उसको जो है ध्वस्त कर देगा। लेकिन फिर भी जो है आपके एक्सपेरिमेंट चलते रहते हैं। इस तरह के जो इस एक्सपेरिमेंट है उसके जरिए जो है फिर से एक बार समाज के एक बड़े हिस्से को गुमराह करने की कोशिश करते हैं।
देखिए, माननीय न्यायपालिका में पूरा प्रकरण गया है। माननीय न्यायपालिका उसको गुण दोष के आधार पे संविधान और कानून के अधिकार पे उसके कसौटी पे परखेगी और देखेगी कि उस पर क्या फैसला हो सकता है, संविधान के अनुसार कानून के अनुसार क्या फैसला होगा। इसलिए समाजवादी पार्टी को अभी, क्योंकि मामला पूरी तरह से न्यायपालिका में है, हमें भरोसा है कि न्यायपालिका से जो भी आदेश होगा वो न्यायहित में होगा।
I'm going straight to my guests who are joining me this evening. Uma Anandan is a leader from the BJP joining us on the broadcast. Hello, Uma ji. Good evening. Namit Saxena, advocate on record, joining us as well. Thank you very much, both of you, batting on the same team today. Ahmed Ayaz, political analyst, lawyer, joining us on the broadcast. Saeed Aslam Pasha is a political analyst, joining us on the broadcast as well. Thank you very much. And Dr. Pulla Rao is a political analyst. He's joining us with the perspective of the DMK, is what I'm being told. Ahmed Ayaz, I'm coming to you first on the question of law. We'll get to the politics in just a bit, but first to the question of law. You know, what the Madras High Court has said makes all the sense in the world. Does it or does it not? The Madras High Court simply is saying this: if Islam is a casteless religion, if it believes in social equality, and all along to convert people, that is their pitch, that Hinduism has caste and there is social inequality. Look at Islam, it has no caste, there is all social equality, etc. If this is their conversion pitch, how can a Hindu, scheduled caste or backward caste, converting to Islam, carry his caste with him? Sir, you're mute. You'll have to unmute yourself.
Hello.
Yes, I can
Am I
hear you.
audible now? So important is to see that what determines what are the factors determining a reservation. See, at least it is not the religion which determines the reservation. It is the socially backward, or maybe mostly the educational backward, which constitutes maybe some other factors also, but mainly these are the factors which determine the eligibility of being a backward and otherwise, not a religion. Now that and the state governments also are empowered constitutionally to advancement to make to advancement the what we call it is backward
Ahmed Ayaz ji, I've asked you a
like,
simple question. I'm sorry, I'm just going to repeat my question. My question is simple. है ना, इधर उधर की बातें नहीं करते. My question is very simple. My question is based on what the Madras High Court has said. The Madras High Court says if Islam is a casteless society, then how can a Hindu converting to Islam carry his caste with him into a new religion? Do you agree with what the Chennai High Court has said or not?
No, it is with reference to it is with reference to the reservation. What you call it, this backward class. But question is, backward is not attached to the religion. Backward, to be a backward is a different. It can be with any religion. So if somebody converts to any religion, it does not debar him from obtaining the status of being backward. That is a different factor. Had the religious been a factor, well, we could agree. If somebody converts from one religion to another religion, if he is entitled or eligible for particular concession under a particular religion and he converts, then he may perhaps forego that. He may be barred from that. But now that it is not based on the religion. If somebody is educationally backward, socially backward, to which religion he belongs is not a matter. So as such, and more so, the state government also has made an order in 2024 in furtherance to the constitutional provisions that they can make orders for the advancement of these reservations, which they have done. So I don't think legally there is anything where one could say that this is wrong if somebody converts and then claims the backwardness as he was holding, legally that does
But
not
you're
seem
saying
to be,
backwards is not a caste, but it says backward castes and extremely backward castes and other backward castes. So caste तो लगा ही हुआ है ना उसमें, Ahmed Ayaz.
But it is not because of that somebody is Muslim and he is given the backward. It could be anybody. You see, backward can be in non-Muslims also, Christians also, anywhere. So it's not important is that we need not hold the religion here as a factor.
Okay.
We'll have to see whether somebody is socially or educationally backward. Well, and he has been declared as a backward. Well, if he is done, then he may require or she may require to change to any religion.
Okay, Umaji, come in here.
Why should we depart?
Come in here, Umaji.
I think he himself is admitting now and talking about two new theories, socially backward, educationally backward. What is this? And then as you rightfully said, secular. This Mr. Paramasivam who got converted to Islam, to what caste did he belong to when he was a Hindu? And you always say only Hindus have this caste differentiation. That is why they are getting converted to the other religions, because there is no differentiation at all. Now that argument falls flat here right away. And who decided? Mr. Paramasivam decided that he belongs to the Labbai community of the Islamic religion. Who decided that? And one more thing, why are these so-called, the leftists crying out aloud now when they are always telling that Hindus is the only religion which discriminates on caste, creed and all that? Let them now admit that the caste differentiation is there in all the religions. Let them admit that from rooftop over a mic in a press conference. Second, I would like to say, these religions differentiate even over dead bodies. The graveyard itself is different. For the according to a Christian, you had a child who was killed and which cases went for review petition in the Supreme Court recently in Tamil Nadu. The poor mother, the converted Christian, she could not bury her child in the Christian graveyard. Finally, she had to come back to her religion and get that child buried. Did anyone see the interview? Why they were not raising a hue and cry? These so-called retired Hari Parandaman, the retired judge who comes and every time on this, all these people now crying out aloud, all these Muslim leaders, Christian, everybody who always speak that there is discrepancy only in Hindu religion. If we will accept this, if they come out and tell aloud that caste differences are there in all these religions.
But Umaji, there are caste differences. There are caste. No. Umaji, while I agree with what you are saying, and I'll let Mr. Pasha come in, but the reality of India is that of course there are castes in the Muslim religion as well. For example, there are Rajput Muslims. What does that even mean? But they exist. The fact also is that Ambedkar was a Dalit leader. He converted to Buddhism, you remember that? Right? But he was still always known as a Dalit leader. So these are the realities of this country. Jati nahi hai, as they say in Hindi. Yes, Mr. Pasha, you want to come in?
No. Shreya, first of all, the basic essence of reservation is on the socio-economic and educational status. Let's make it very, very clear. And I understand the BJP spokesperson is getting agitated. I don't know, they have some hatred against the minorities. I mean, that's quite visible in most of the debates. And the point is very simple, okay? This reservation, the basic essence of reservation in the Constitution of India is not only specific on the caste and the religion. This is purely on the socio-economic status of the individual, right? So how are you eliminating the person, whether a person is a Hindu, then he got converted to Islam or to Christianity? The basic essence is what is his socio-economic and educational status? That is what it has to be verified, right? Now, has the Constitution given us the right to claim the reservation if all the three elements, socially, economically, educationally, if the person is backward, of course, the Constitution has given the right. We respect the order given by the High Court. However, in the wisdom of the government, we have all the rights. The Constitution has given us the right to appeal this in the Supreme Court. That is exactly what the Tamil Nadu government has done. I mean, the BJP takes a moral high ground when we are talking about the reservation between a reservation on the Muslims. They are the Muslims are the marginalized community. We are the most backward community with respect to socially, economically, educational background. When we talk about Muslim reservation, they'll say, okay, let us talk only about the economic, social, and educational status. Now, well, today they are contradicting their stand. Today, they're contradicting their stand when a person who's moved from a Hindu religion to Islam and he's claiming the reservation. I mean, this is the double standards of BJP. The BJP has to stick the ground properly. They have some hatred towards Islam, the Muslims, and of course, the minority community. They have to stand clear in their demand. They have to be very clear. Who are they supporting? Are they supporting the social economic status and the marginalized communities, or they're saying that no, Islam, Muslims, they will not get anything? Even if they're marginalized, they're the weakest community with respect to education. They're the weakest community with respect to socially and the educational status. That is okay. Muslims should not get anything. Is that the claim? I want to ask the BJP spokesperson.
I will quote the Supreme Court in a bit, but since you are asking the BJP spokesperson that question, Umaji, go ahead, respond.
No, I want to interrupt now. No, please, now he is putting assumptions and presumptions. He's talking about educational backwardness, socioeconomic. Don't the minorities enjoy the status of educational institutions while the Hindus have been denied starting institutions? The minorities have every right to start institutions while this right has been denied. Who stopped them from getting educated? When they have every right under the constitution to start educational institutions exclusively for them, while we are denied that right. So let him not talk all, euphoric things here. Let him accept the reality. And he says, we are agitated. We have every right to feel agitated. We have every right to feel agitated because just by converting, because you say that there are caste differences in Hindus and you get converted, but you want to enjoy that. When you get converted also, you want to have the cake and eat it too.
Nahi, acha, Umaji, 1 minute. Let me play the devil's advocate here. I will come to the Supreme Court in just a bit because the Supreme Court gives a very clear argument, at least in 2 cases. But here's the thing. I am, for example, a backward class Hindu. I'm entitled to affirmative action. I'm entitled to reservation. Then I decide that, for some reason, multiple reasons, that I want to convert to Islam. It is not like my social status or my social conditioning or my social circumstances suddenly change, right? When I become a Muslim. So my social circumstances are still the same. Why should the reservation that comes to me from being backward not carry on even in Islam then? Does it sound fair? Is this natural justice?
Is that
it is.
To me, Shreya, can I answer
it
that?
is unfair if you demand the same thing. You have been given certain reservations and all that as per the classification of among the Hindus. When you get converted to a Muslim, you are saying that you have been discriminated, and that is why you're getting. Everybody points out only to that. The Manusmriti, the Hindus, this, that, everything is pointed out at Hindu religion. You say that everything is wrong with us, discrimination and all that. You say that. But then you get converted and demand the same benefits. Is that right? Is that right? Then you admit that there are caste differences among the Muslims, among the Christians. You admit that first. Don't say that it is the best. There is no discrimination.
Mr. Pasha, so you will admit that in India at least, Islam and Christianity are not the casteless religions that they proclaim to be? You will agree, right? On that one point, you will agree.
Yeah, Shreya, of course there are some economically backward castes available in the community for which there is reservation available in some of the states.
There are
now,
ST,
my question
even in STs Muslims, there are ST Muslims as well. So it's not like it's a casteless.
There's no ST Muslim. There are castes, of course, I agree. That Shreya, just give me 30 seconds peacefully.
Okay.
When the BJP spokesperson, madam, she's talking about first of all, BJP is not the custodian of Hinduism, and BJP is not Manusmriti. Okay, BJP and Hinduism is not only Manusmriti. Ma'am, you don't need to quote such things because Hinduism is very vast. It is a very peaceful religion. It's a religion. It's the way of life. It is not, only Manusmriti and whatever you're quoting. Let's keep that aside. Varna system and all, we'll talk about it later. Now, do you accept the fact that the Muslim community is the most marginalized community, and the person who has got converted, he also belongs to a backward community? So should he not claim the benefits of the backward? I wouldn't call it as benefit because it is his right. A person who is marginalized socially, economically, and of course educationally, it is not a benefit. It is the right as told by Ambedkar, as told by the father of the Constitution. It is the right of the marginalized communities and the people who are supposed to get the reservation. It is a right. It is not.
Okay. Okay. So you are saying it's not appeasement; it's a right. Can we put that up as well? This is not, you're telling us this is not appeasement. This is a right that these people carry. Namit, can I bring you in here on the question of law? I just want to quote the Supreme Court as well, and we've made some graphics for our viewers as well to refer to as I speak about what the Supreme Court has said in the past. What has the Supreme Court said in the past? In 1983, there was a Sonkar versus Maya Devi case, and this is what the Supreme Court says. They say when a person converts, their original caste remains under an eclipse. As soon as they reconvert, that eclipse disappears. That is number one. 2024, there's another case. This is called the Selvarani case. Again in the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court says, how can one remain a Hindu after baptism? Attempting to claim SC reservation, scheduled caste reservation, after baptism amounts to a fraud on constitution. So are you telling me, Namat Saxena, that what the Tamil Nadu government has done essentially has been a fraud on the constitution that has been overturned by the Madras High Court?
It is nothing less than a fraud on the constitution, I should tell you, Shreya. An order like this, see, a social backwardness is not something which can be carried forward. It's not a PNL statement which can be carried forward once you parachute from one religion to other and then from another religion to another religion. It is not something, it works like this. One second, you're right in Justice Pankaj Mittal and Justice Mahadevan's judgment in Selvarani actually calls it a fraud on the constitution because it is so. See, you can't create a class within a class. As Mr. Pasha, also rightly pointed out, you have social backwardness, educational backwardness, economic backwardness. There is no religious backwardness. So you can't parachute yourself and they say that I will, enter into another religion. I will, instead of uplifting myself socially, I will carry forward that backwardness for the purposes of reservation in education and employment, and then consequential reservation and promotion. So you can't blow hot and cold at the same time. So you have to shed off the character of social backwardness which you had in your previous religion, and then you have to enter into a new religion. Thirdly, and most importantly, why this is a fraud on the constitution, that the constitution has an equality code under Article 14, 15 and 16. In that equality code, the triangle of equality code, you can't have a class within a class. You can't have a religion, social backwardness in that religion, jump into another religion and then say that I will not I will not shed off the character of social backwardness. Instead of uplifting myself, I want to have reservation again. So you can't have that. So that is why there is a fraud on the constitution. Fourth thing I must point out, Shreya, that is also very important. See, the aggrieved does not come to the Supreme Court. It is the state government which has come to the Supreme Court challenging this.
Correct.
Aggrieved has accepted that order as far as now. And the state government says, because RGO has been struck down, we want to challenge it. So their challenge is limited to the GO, the government order of 2024. They can't step into the shoes of the aggrieved and say that the aggrieved should have been given this benefit.
Namit, theek hai. But here's my counter question to you. You are saying that the shadow of backwardness has to be shed, right, before you enter your new religion. That is what you're saying? The shadow of backwardness, how can you shed it ever? Irrespective of how many religions you change, can the shadow of your backwardness ever be shed? Will it improve your circumstances? Will it suddenly improve your educational background, your social background, your economic background? Bhai, आदमी तो वही रहा ना, या औरत तो वही रही. What has changed? I'm asking you. I convert from being a Hindu SC or a Hindu backward caste to a Muslim backward to a Muslim. Backward तो मैं फिर भी हूँ ना.
Correct, but in that religion, in that other religion, if there are no parameters like this, social backwardness is not it's a very objective term. You can look at the social backwardness in one particular religion and compare it with another religion which may not have the same level of social backwardness. You can't enter into that religion and say that now I have entered into this religion, I should get benefit as per this religion now. I may not be entitled to get some reservation benefits there. So you can't pick and choose. You can't have a second bite at the cherry by jumping into another religion, because tomorrow he can say that I will now enter into another religion and say I'm still a backward, and therefore I should get a reservation as per this also. So it is not something. It is not a children's game.
Okay.
These are serious issues. When you look at social backwardness, it is not an individual. You look at a particular cluster of individuals. So one can't suddenly claim and they say, I will enter into another religion and be, socially backward there.
Dr. Pulla Rao, then why was the DMK? Why did the DMK bring in this government order, and why is the TVK so vehemently defending that order, when clearly what the Supreme Court has said multiple times tells us that that the government order that the Tamil Nadu government brought in was against the spirit of the Constitution?
I can neither improve nor gild what the DMK has been saying for 75 years. Their views are very clear on these issues. Or the ADMKs, or the BJPs. Their views are there. But I can answer one or two of your questions, very happily. What you have said, Dr. Ambedkar has already answered. Scheduled Caste Para 3 Order of 1950. He has already answered this. That's the basis of all these reservations. What he has not answered is what happens when an SC marries a non-SC partner. What happens to their children? All these questions will take time to resolve. It is getting more and more complex. And another point is, political parties which have been on their social agenda have to face this. Can you transport or export, that's the word, technical word, your backwardness or your forwardness to another religion? Sadly or happily, Ambedkar said no, because that goes back into the independence struggle.
Correct.
The Constitution did not start with you and me. It started with Mahatma Gandhi's discussions with Dr. Ambedkar. How did he become the law minister? Mahatma Gandhi proposed his name. He lost his election for parliament. All this was already decided. And unless you want to shake the foundations of the Constitution, you can't touch these issues, sadly. And as far as the TVK government is concerned, they're taking up agendas which eventually they will get sidetracked, sidelined, and bushwhacked, because these are very deep issues. The answer, any lawyer like my friend Mr. Saxena will tell you what the courts are going to say also day after tomorrow. Because just recently, 2026, there was a judgment in the Supreme Court just a few months ago.
Correct.
What governments do, instead of taking people into confidence like my friends from the minorities, try to find a way out. Try to find something where there is some consensus. Attend to their needs also. They have legitimate needs. I agree with my friends. They're
Mr. Pulla Rao, then are you telling me that what the DMK did and what the TVK is now trying to do essentially is appeasement? That the BJP is right?
I won't use the word. No, there's no such thing called appeasement. Appeasement is
elections are won and lost on that one word, and you are saying there is no such thing as appeasement, Dr. Pulla Rao? You are in a good mood today.
Negative word. Appeasement is a negative word with a lot of bad connotations. Every citizen in this country has equal right. There are citizens, I am their citizens, we have equal rights. They have a right to fight for it democratically. If they can get the numbers, and on a common cause, they can change things. So I will not use the word appeasement. It's not a nice term. Appeasement means you're doing something aggressive. They have a right to agitate. They have a right to get it. But can they get it? Just because I want it or they want it? What will be the consequences? It's a very deep question.
Okay.
My lawyer friend, they might.
Okay, Mr. Pasha is smiling, wanted to say something. I'll come to Umaji in the end. Go ahead, Mr. Pasha.
I find it absolutely astonished when people use the word appeasement, right? So anything which is done to I want to ask a basic, elementary and foundational question to everybody who's representing the BJP and the ruling dispensation today. Are we saying that Muslims are not a part of the country? Is it? Are we not a part of the nation? If we claim the right, how is it called as appeasement? I mean, anything which is elementary or which is the right of a Muslim, if someone speaks about it, right? Why do we call it as appeasement? Are we not the part of this nation? We are the most integral part of this nation. Let me make it very loud and clear to the panelists and the viewers as well, that Muslims are the integral part of this nation. Anything which has to be claimed as a right of the Muslim community cannot be termed as appeasement.
Okay, give me a minute here. Give me a minute here. Can we please pull up that EDV on whether this is appeasement or whether this is a right? Can we just put that EDV on our screens? Umaji, go ahead.
See, first I would like to remind him, he says that appeasement is a wrong word. I would like to say that the minorities are the pampered section in India today. How can he say that they are being ignored? They are being given everything extra. We, the Hindus, should only cry out now. That is what we are doing. We have been denied so many things. Places of worship, everything. I can talk about everything. And now when he talks about it, will he accept that in Tamil Nadu, there is a difference between Urdu-speaking Islamists and Tamil-speaking Islamists? There is a categorical difference how they are treated. How is he going to answer? And he talks, I don't agree with him when he says that as if they are being sidelined and Muslims are an integral part. Nobody is denying that. They are an integral part of India. Only thing I'm adding is they are the pampered lot. That is what we are questioning. At the cost of the majority Hindus, they are being pampered. Simple thing like my Place of Worship Act.
You know, I'll just...
Starting institutions, everything. Why? If they are, we should be treated equally. We should all be treated equally.
You know,
not vote bank politics.
You know,
no vote bank politics.
You know,
no pampering. All of us should be treated equally. That is our demand.
Okay. You know, I will just tell our viewers what was B.R. Ambedkar's view on this matter. Because he had a view on this matter, Dr. Pulla Rao has referred to it. I will just end by telling our viewers what that view was. Dr. Ambedkar actually had explicitly warned against the dangers of carrying your caste identities into a new religion. He did see conversion, by the way, as an essential for Dalits to escape the oppressive Hindu social order, but he also observed that South Asian Christians and Muslims often retained their caste stratifications. Essentially, if Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was alive today, we know where he would be arguing his case, since he was a lawyer as well. We'll leave it there for the moment. Thank you very much. I hope we've tried to understand what the issue at hand is. Of course, we'll hear more from the Supreme Court now when they hear the matter. Umaji, thank you very much. Namit, thanks. Ahmed Ayaz, Saeed Aslam Pasha and Dr. Pulla Rao, thank you all very much for your time and your perspective. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'm slipping into a quick break. There's more on the other side. Do stay with us.